What is going on, YouTube? It is FlopFish here, and welcome to an NHL 13 gameplay commentary. This is me playing with my hut team, rocking these sweet jerseys that I picked up a long time ago that I love to use. And as you can tell by the title, this is my review of NHL 13, and obviously it's going to be a pretty honest review. I don't like to review things and sugarcoat them. I kind of like to give them straight up, and that's what I'm going to do with this game, because no offense, there's a lot of stuff that I think they can really take into account from this game and improve them in the next one, and they're common complaints, and I think the more we get them publicized, or the more we get them heard, the better the games become. So for example, passes and plays like that, those are common that happen, and when no one's around you or you're barely skating forward, your player can't reach back and get the puck. And I was actually even slowing down there, but he unfortunately didn't get the puck. And you know, it's one of those things that if your player's in tight and skating like slightly away, they'll still get it from a further distance away than what that was. So to me, the stuff like that needs to be changed. And between NHL 12 and NHL 13, something just fell apart, and I don't know what it is. If it's the fact they added in momentum, or the fact they added in, like, you know, the new kind of controls with your skating. I really don't know what happened. Like, it's become to the point where this game is something that is just extremely frustrating, because there's no proper way to, like, you can't go about, and if you're good at the game, you can't expect to win every game, and you'll find yourself losing in ways that you can't prevent, no matter how good defensively or offensively you are. And to me, that's kind of stupid. Like, if I'm good at the game, I should get rewarded for it. I should be winning. And you know, you see like certain people getting through it, but you also see certain times where AI is coming into effect and completely winning the games for people. And that's probably one of my bigger complaints with the game is the AI, and my player AI is absolutely, the AI for players seems pretty bad in a lot of aspects because of the momentum, and it doesn't seem like it's well optimized for it, and I think they probably should look into that. It doesn't seem like it matches up properly. There's a lot of times where there's a play at the end of this game that really summarizes what I'm talking about, and also the play of like the forward there who was uncontrolled and went straight into the goalie. And you think that's something that happens like once or twice, but I mean, when you play the game for a long time, it's a common occurrence, and it comes to the point where, you know, you'll have the puck and you'll shoot it, but your player will be crashing the net who you have no control over, hit the goalie, and all of a sudden you have a penalty, and literally there's nothing you can do. It's just one of those things that really just gets on your gears a bit, and that's just, it's one of the like weirdest things in this game. And the goaltending AI is, I don't think I need to elaborate, or I'm sugarcoating it when I say it's pretty bad, because fact of the matter is that it honestly sucks. I mean, I can see what they were trying to do and reward you for shooting shots, but you have to do the same thing pretty much every single time to score, which is what I'm doing here, which is coming from the corner in the hash marks, drawing the goaltender one way, and then shooting the opposite way, and it just seemed like that's a common way to score. And that just, to me, that's not really right. That you can't punish someone for leaving your guy wide open for a one-timer. The AI has gotten so good on one-timers that it's made them completely, like, almost completely pointless to do. There's an odd time they'll work, but a lot of times they won't, and that's because the goaltenders are just, they're freaking insane when there's half an empty net and your player's right at the crease there. And what I mean by that is that if you get a rebound and there's half a net open and you take a slap shot, it's going to be saved 90% of the time. If you have a cross crease one-timer and half the net's empty, it's going to be saved 90% of the time. It's just, you can't punish the opponent for making mistakes, which to me is kind of really weird, because isn't that what hockey is? Like, if you leave a guy wide open for a cross crease one-timer in hockey, they're gonna score 9 times out of 10, especially how close you are. And I kind of wish they brought them back, because it was a way you could rely on the score, and you had to work towards it. You couldn't just skate in across the blue line with no name guy and shoot a puck and score. Or you didn't have to rely on getting lucky in order to win. And to me, that's what this game relies a lot on, is how lucky you are, especially with the goaltenders now. And that's why you see me put a lot of shots, but where my shots are from, they're not even like from bad locations. Obviously that was a weak backhander there, but here's the random stuff that happens to me, always happens to me. So I press R1 once, and then poke checks the puck away, and I can't even control my player at that point before he decides to chop the puck out of midair, right, like backwards, not forwards, backwards, which is opposite of the direction I was pointing in, towards their player. And stuff like that, you say like, oh, that's just a fluke incident, that's just once in a blue moon. It's pretty common, and a blue moon's pretty common actually, but that's another story. They're very, very common, and it happens again to me actually, and it's losing to stuff like that just really is annoying after a while. It's a lot of stuff that you can't control, you're losing to, and when stuff like that's happening to you, it makes the game unenjoyable. It really does. I mean, I'll still play it and trying to find a way to, beat that, but I mean, right there, like, I was just trying to poke the puck into the corner, but it does a chop instead. And I think they really need to come up with a better button for the chop. But right here, you can see the poke check, and instead of just kind of lightly corralling the puck off that poke check, it decides to fling it back like a rocket pass right onto the guy's stick for a partial breakaway. And once again, that's a 3-3. That's 2 goals there that realistically shouldn't have gone in. There's a replay of it. Like, there's no words for that. And I guess the final main point is defending in this game, because it is just spamming the right bumper, or R1 if you're on PlayStation, which I am. And speaking of R1, here's a perfect example of a perfect poke check. Right on the puck, pretty much. He's going to come back and he's going to sweep across and bring it towards me, right? Should knock it pretty far away, considering what happened with Ekman Larsson there and how fast it went, right? Chuck Testa, it's going to knock him right towards, it's going to stay on a Danny Heatley stick there. And although it's a very nice goal and stuff, there's a couple things here, like the defense on the AI for the one-timer was bad, which is very, very uncommon in this game. And it's just a whole bunch of stuff goes wrong in one shift. But he made me penalize myself for not having good defensive positioning too with the one-timer pass, which I am perfectly fine with, but it's just bizarre how it happened in this one incident. And so that's how we ended up scoring there. And that's one of the things in this game, is that the only way you can defend really is poke checking now. And like, hitting in this game is brutal, because you can hit someone from behind, like skating behind them, like just lightly catch up to them and just slightly tap them, and they'll go flying like they got hit by like a 5-ton truck. Meanwhile, you're using Zdeno Chara and you skate up to Nathan Gerbe and like head-on collision, like he's skating towards you, you're skating towards him, and yeah, it won't even do anything to him. To me, like, it's unreliable. And poke checks are another thing, like the effectiveness of it. But there's the AI thing that I'm talking about, is how Ekman Larsson kind of just peeled off to the side there when he didn't really have to. Like, the puck was right beside him, but he decided to spin around. Like, that is just, it's common in this game, and it's frustrating. Anyways, guys, that's the end of this kind of review slash rant. NHL 13 is a good game. It had tons of potential. It had tons. It didn't live up to them. And as you can see here, I had 9 minutes and 19 seconds of time on attack. I played fairly well, and I played well enough to win this game. To me, without the luck, he wouldn't have won. And that's what it comes down to. He won because he was lucky. Anyways, so let me know your comments on the game. if you agree with me or not, and what you'd like to see improve, because I am putting together a series on it, and hopefully it gets noticed, and hopefully they put changes in for NHL 14 to make it a lot more enjoyable, and you get rewarded for being good at the game. Anyways guys, hopefully you enjoyed this. Take it easy, peace out. If you guys enjoyed this, once again, like, favorite, subscribe, all that fun stuff. Take it easy, see you next video.